let me just toggle the button on. Marvellous. Excellent.
Bro.
Okay, brilliant. So for anyone who hasn't seen the brief in terms of what we're talking about this evening, this session is dedicated to all about how you can enhance your Curam profile to really not only help you get working and find well-paid care work opportunities, but also how to use Curam's fantastic new features. We have got various different new features that have been unveiled on the Curam app. And we really want to ensure that everyone is making the most of them and really knows exactly what's available and what the capabilities are. Now, because all of these features are on the Curam app, the first thing that we would love to do is just quickly do a quick straw poll just to ask how many of you who are here this evening are actually on the Curam app. So I'm just going to do a very, very super quick survey. So bear with me just 1 second. If you can just vote yes or no in the survey. Here we go. Just let us know if you're either on the app or you are not. Lots of yeses, which is
looking
fantastic.
good. Yeah, that's what we want.
Very good. We haven't got any no's as of yet. That could change. Okay. Okay, I mean, so far it's looking extremely positive. For anyone who's on the app and is wondering why we're asking, it is possible to, well, it used to be possible to also use Curam via the website if you were a carer. We're now at the point where we're almost entirely focusing on using the app and only the app. And so as a result, we are super keen to just make sure that everyone has joined us on that journey from website to app. We've got a resounding 65% who are on the app, which I think is nearly everyone who's actually on this webinar, which is awesome. So that's fantastic. Right, what I'm going to do now is just switch off the survey, and then what I'd like to do is actually, oh, we've got some more votes coming in. That's fantastic. What I'd like to do is just really, again, another very quick survey. We'd like to really understand how confident you feel about enhancing your Curam profile. So making it look as good as it possibly can, making the most of all the different features that you find on the Curam profile when you're putting in all your information. So bear with me just 1 second. I'm just going to pop yet another quick survey up on the screen. Hang on a moment. Oh, hang on. I probably need to close this one first. Here we go. Let's try that again. Hang on a second. Okay, bear with me just 1 moment.
Aha.
Okay. So if you could just share how confident you feel about enhancing your Curam profile. Well, I mean, when I say enhancing, it could be updating your profile photo. It could be adding a video. It could be refreshing your profile bio, which gives you information, gives your client looking at your profile information about your skills, your experience.
Maybe uploading some training certificates or
Absolutely, yeah,
your availability as well, because that's a really important one, just keeping that up to date.
Yeah. Got some very modest, quite confident. Oh, marvellous. Good to see a very confident. Not very confident. And well, we're delighted that you're here. Let's hope that we can. Oh, they've decided to change to quite confident. Love that. Okay, marvellous. So generally speaking, it looks like a lot of people in the room are feeling quite. Oh, we've got some not very confident. I shouldn't really hedge any bets here until voting ends. So I don't know if anyone. I mean, there's just. I don't know if anyone else wants to add their feelings about their confidence levels. Okay, I mean, I think that gives us a pretty good idea that, so we have got 2 people who are feeling very confident, which is marvellous. we are going to be talking about Curam's features, so I very much hope that this evening's session is still going to be valuable to you. Now, let me just close this down. Thank you so much for taking part. I am actually going to do one more quick survey. I know they're coming thick and fast, but I'd be really keen to find out who on the webinar this evening has a Curam profile video, because that is the first thing that we're really going to be talking about in a bit more detail. So it'd be great to just understand how many people have taken the plunge and got on camera, because I know it can feel a little bit daunting. So it'd be marvelous just to get a quick idea of how many people have gone for it. I know not everyone, I mean, I don't think I know anyone who's really a fan of getting in front.
No.
Do you, Ashley Louise?
No, not at all, actually. I always say in my meetings, you know, I totally understand it. It's very daunting for sure.
Yeah.
But worth it, guys. It's so worth it. It
Oh
does,
my
yeah.
days, it really is. We're going to talk in more detail exactly how much it's worth putting together, and also it's something that once it's there, you know, you don't really have to think about it for, I mean, I would look to maybe refresh it once it's been up, say, for a year, or perhaps if something's changed and I think, oh, I've done something, it's amazing, and I want to include that in my video in terms of my skills or experience
Or
or
maybe
training.
a hair color or cut. That's always a good one as well. You don't want your client to be expecting you to turn up with pink hair if you've got blonde hair, or, you know.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're about 50-50 here with people that have profile videos. That's fantastic for the people that do. And for the people that don't, now is your time. So, Ashley Louise, I'd love it if you could just tell us a little bit more about the benefits of having a profile video.
Sure. So, I mean, I always talk to carers and say the way to look at it is if you were looking for a carer for your loved one, maybe your granddad, mum, dad, and you were looking at profiles, would you click on someone who had a video and you could just see a quick sort of 30-second snapshot of them, where you can hear them, see them, you know, assess their demeanor a little bit? Or would you click on the carer who has literally just got their certificates, a little bio, you know, automatically you're going to go with the one, you know, that's got the video. So it makes you 3 times more likely to get work. This is for that reason exactly. They're getting a feel for who you are before, you know, they meet you. They're viewing your bio, all of your, you know, condition experiences, everything on there. It just kind of links everything up and really brings you to life. You're not just, you know, your photo, you're real. And I think that really helps the client decide whether they want you or not. And I think it doesn't have to be too long. It's up to a minute. I think you get cut off at around 59 seconds, I want to say. So some people have extra long ones, and that's great if you've got the confidence and you know what you want to say. A lot of carers say to me, "Oh, you know, I'm not sure how to say or what to say. I don't know that I can speak for that long." And what I always say is, it doesn't need to be lengthy. It can just be a real quick snapshot. Hi, my name's Ashley Louise. I've been a carer for 12 years. In my spare time, I love to garden. I like puzzles, and I really like to go for a coffee. You know, it'd be really nice to hear from you. So please feel free to drop me a message. Literally just that. And even that in itself is hard enough, I know, but you just need to have the confidence, smile, and know that it's going to get you, you know, it'll get you far, basically. But yes, I believe it is definitely a positive, and lots of carers I know have got one. Oh, hi, there's so many people dialing in now. That's good, isn't it?
Yes, welcome. Come in, join us.
Yeah, great. So it is definitely a good thing to do, just to have the confidence and do it. Also, you can practice run a couple of times. Some people sort of write out what they're going to say, stick it on the screen or the wall in front of them, and then talk at the camera, and you can kind of read it back if you want to as well, which I think sometimes people have said it helps. Depending on who your recruiter is, you can also send them a quick message with your video in, say, can you check it for me before I upload it, you know, and we'll always give you any feedback or help you out with what to say. So yeah, just don't hesitate to reach out and ask.
Yeah, that's really good advice. And I think also, just when you're thinking about your video, something to remember is you can take it, you can do as many takes as you like. You know, if you're not happy with it, then you can refilm it. You know, it's completely within your control, and it will sit on your current profile. It's if you think of your profile, it's effectively it's like a shop window, if you like, um, albeit a life-saving one, because let's face it, that's work that carers do on a day-to-day basis. And so by making sure that you've utilised every opportunity to allow you to really engage with every client that's browsing current carer profiles, then that's really going to enhance your chances of finding work opportunities. And it effectively gives you the power to introduce yourself to every single client that looks at your profile, which is incredibly powerful. And you know, to know that you've got that doing that extra bit of work for you, all by way of putting together a nice quick video, is something that, you know, I think the statistic that we actually have discovered is that if you do have a profile video, it will triple your chances of finding work. So it is something that's really worth doing. And also another thing to consider, this is something that I find quite a handy tip, but if you are filming yourself and you need good light, just film yourself, but basically looking out of a window. So you've got your phone in front of you. So your phone is effectively like the glass. You've got the light of the window on your face, and that immediately will give you good lighting. Even better lighting, do it outside. The only thing, if you do it outside, it does. You've got the risk of the audio not being quite so good. So
yeah,
maybe
background noise.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that'll be the time that you suddenly get a police car driving past or something like that, which is really annoying if you've just nailed what you want to say. But yeah, that's just another way that you can do it. And yeah, I think, you know, it's something that takes a little bit of planning, a little bit of preparation, but it will then just really work for you in spades. Marvelous. Okay, so just with regards to, whilst we're on the topic of talking about profiles, I'm sure, well, if we could actually, I think what would be helpful at this point, actually, Louise, is if we could maybe talk about a little bit more about how we can, what are the top tips we can share just around how you can actually give your profile a boost on Curam. And what I mean by that is so that it will help your profile effectively rank higher on Curam's search filters. So it will help you, it will almost like, how can I put it? It's like it will help the algorithm to prioritize your profile effectively.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have a new boost your profile feature. There is actually a like a question it asks you within the app, and you can actually tick yes to it. By ticking yes on the boost button, your profile does show higher in searches when the client is looking for a carer. So how it works is we have an algorithm and like a bit of a points scoring system. So there are certain things that you can do that all these points will add up basically, and the higher your score is, the higher you will show in client searches. So those things are logging on regularly, just making sure that you're checking in daily, looking at messages, responding promptly, also setting up a micro team. So that's also a really important one, just connecting with other local carers. And another big thing I always say with regards to a micro team, you know, even though this is a lone working role, for that reason particularly, it's quite good to build up that support network around you. And also your profile is seen in like more places. So if, for example, you're part of my micro team and I have no availability, the client will scroll down and see you in my micro team and they'll think, oh, this is great, you know, and then they click to you. And so, you know, you're more readily seen. So that's a great one to have. Also updating your availability regularly. We all know things change. Perhaps you've got an appointment coming up, or, you know, you're off sick, for example. Maybe you've had a cancellation and you need to fill that gap. Just going on, you know, at the end or the start of the week, just to, you know, update it. This can all be done in the app of a touch of a button, and this will all help contribute towards your score. Again, the profile video, that also gives you points. using our training, having completed training certificates uploaded, and also recommendations from clients. So if you've had a client, and you can ask them, see if they're happy to leave you a recommendation on the app. We've got quite a few carers with them. They're really lovely. Sometimes they can be super personal and quite touching actually when you give them a read. They're lovely. So those also add up to your score, being higher. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing. I had a carer literally last week, and she had no idea about the boost your profile feature. And I said, look, go on, talk to her through it. And actually, the boost your profile button, I believe you can re-click it every 48 hours, I want to say, and then it just kind of boosts you back up again. So you can regularly do that. There are a couple of different ways that I can talk you through. So for updating your availability, I don't know if you guys know how to do this. You can happily respond in the chat if you want. So with updating the availability, all you have to do is go onto the app, click onto menu, and then click on your picture, and then from there it should show up nice and clear saying set my weekly schedule. You click into there, and that's where you can update your availability Monday to Sunday depending on what shift you want. And in that same section just slightly above, we'll come up with a question saying, are you actively looking, would you like to boost your profile? And again, hitting yes to that, this will be how you would contribute. Oh, I've got a question.
That's a really good question, Karen.
Yeah.
So the OX11 postcode area, I know that OX is Oxfordshire.
And hardly any that want 2 or 3 hours a day, 1 day a week. Yeah, I think it just depends on what the client's requirements are. I think that is part of it. It's we're having clients sign up every day. We're growing and growing. So what might not be there 1 day or 1 week, it will build. I recently moved from one county to another. Had absolutely no one here. Built up my micro team. I've got a nice support network around me now. My profile's being seen in multiple places, and also I've managed to hold on tight and wait for jobs, and there are things being posted every day. I'm looking at my emails, and they might not necessarily always fit you or your requirements, what you're looking for, but like I say, they're being added every day. So definitely worth staying on board and holding out for them to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And and we hear you. It can be so frustrating if not the right thing is coming up. It is just a case of keep looking. And as Jess has also popped in the comments,
Yes.
clients can also direct message you. It's not just via the jobs that are advertised. So it is so worth making sure that your profile is looking as good as it possibly can. But certainly, as Ashley Louise just said, we've got new clients coming on all the time. And so, in terms of what you're looking for, I do hope that does change. It's certainly moving in a positive direction in terms of the clients, but appreciate the geographical spread might mean that it just takes a little bit longer for the particular area that you live in. We've got a couple more questions here. Should we just go through those now, Ashley? There'll also be lots of time at the end to ask questions too. But
Yeah, sure. I'm just scrolling back because there's quite a couple. Hang on, bear with me.
So fast moving.
Okay, so you check weekly and respond instantly to any messages. Okay, yeah. So with regards to checking in, so if for any reason there's not much work locally and you get put off, and say for example you don't log in for about a week or maybe 2, and then you pop back on, the algorithm we're talking about, which is part of the boost feature, if you're not logging in, your score will go down. Therefore, you're not going to be up there in, say, the top 10 carers in your area. When someone's searching your postcode, you're actually going to be quite far down the list, and then you're missing out on the opportunity because generally you would click on the first couple that you see as you scroll through. So that's why it's really important to check in. So I would just be checking in daily. The fact that you're responding instantly to any messages is really good. Obviously that's going to increase your chances. Boosting your profile, Karen, just click that button every 48 hours and keep it up. Make sure you've got your profile video. access a micro team, just go in there, pop your postcode in, and just add away. You've got nothing to lose there. You know, people will accept it, and then your profile was boosted just simply through being part of a micro team. So that's always really good. When I'm working, do I set my profile as unavailable? It depends. So if it's short-term work, for example, if you just got like a bit of a random week planned, I wouldn't put that you're unavailable, because you're going to be looking to fill your diary the next week, the week after. If you've got a long-term client or a live-in, then yeah, I would put unavailable. But then I'd also go into your personal bio. Say it's a set live-in for 3 months, you could say I'm actually going to be available in April from this date, I'm looking for, etc. I think it's quite important. And the same if you're looking for work outside of your area where you live, or for example, the address on your profile. So some people, some carers have said to me, "Oh, you know, I'm staying in London. Can I look for work there?" Yeah, so long as you're jotting it on your profile, because otherwise you're going to be applying for a job, I don't know, from London, you're applying for one in Birmingham. It doesn't make any sense to the client, so they might not accept it. They might just look at it and think it was a mistake. Whereas if you're popping on your profile, happy to travel, for example, then this is really going to help you out as well. Just eliminates the confusion. Sorry, there's quite a few, so I'm just...
Yeah, so I think we've got a couple of people here that are just really kind of airing their concerns about not finding work. And obviously, I know it's very, very different for individuals, and it's very much on a case by case basis. I noticed that a few of the comments are, you know, if you are, as you can probably see that our colleague Jess is also in the comments fantastically, also at providing answers, which is super helpful. But as Jess has said, if you are struggling in terms of not finding any opportunities, you're applying and you're not getting responses, or anything like that, then you can get in touch with us, and we will. One of our fantastic recruiters, Ashley Louise, is one of them. We've got a really amazing team. Get in touch, and we will review your profile and see what we can do to help you find the clients that you're looking for. It could be that there's something that perhaps could be, I don't know, updated. There could be some particular skill set that's not been included for whatever reason. So, you know, please do get in touch, and we'll offer whatever support we can, because, you know, we certainly, there's a massive shortage of carers out there. So, you know, we will do our absolute utmost to make sure that you are in a position to be able to find some care work opportunities. Okay, I don't think I've missed any questions. I think that's everyone for the moment. Do keep them coming though. You know, we'd be absolutely delighted to hear from anyone that's got any burning questions at all with relating to finding work at Curam. Love to also answer the meaning of life whilst we're here, but unfortunately we'll be doing that another evening. So back to the topic of boosting your profile. Ashley Louise, I would love it if you could just, I know you've talked about using the boost button. We've talked about, you know, the profile video as well. Can you just talk to us about micro teams?
Sure. So with the micro teams, it's, as I said, it's important just to have that, purely because your profile's being seen in more than one place. They're not just coming to your profile where you've applied for their job and they're looking, or for example, you know, they found you on a higher up in the list on the client search, because you're doing all you can at this point to be having your score nice and topped up. But yeah, you're seen just more likely. So as I said, they will come onto my profile, and from my profile, if I'm full, you know, I have no availability, the next best place they're going to go is from my micro team. They will then click onto yours, be able to message you directly just the same. Sorry, just another one coming. Yeah, so it's really important. And just obviously for the lone working sort of element, it can be quite lonely just being self-employed, just you day in, day out, you know, with your client. It's quite important to build up that carer community. I feel, like I said, I've just fairly recently moved. I knew nobody. So I was quite brave, went on there, typed in my postcode, had a look, and actually within 1 mile, I've got a carer, self-employed, just like me, on the app, just like me, and we chat regularly now. So kind of work aside, it's quite nice to just have that chat and have someone I know, and also means we can job share. If a client, if I fall ill or the kids are poorly and I can't go to work, I've got someone who I can kind of rely on. But where we're both in the same boat, it's not like I'm putting on her if she's got availability, and she can. She'll invoice, she'll do all the things that I would normally do. And then that's also promoting continuity of care as well for the client, because if it's not me caring for her, it's only ever going to be the carer just down the road from me. It's not going to just be any random person, and for them that's nice as well. I feel like that's a really important part of it. So yeah, I honestly, I can't recommend it enough. It's so nice for support, for the job sort of side of things, and for a personal perspective as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think, with the micro teams, it's something that it's not just about finding support so that, if you're unable to support your client, they have the option to then choose to work with somebody in your micro team. Like you say, it's about, because it can feel like a very lonely role. So it gives you someone that you can actually engage with, talk to, share what you're up to, share resources, ideas, training, anything like that. It just adds another layer just to, for what can feel quite an isolated role. It just means that you can actually have that connection with other people, and other people that are working in the same, area of work as you. So you have that common ground, which I think just makes a huge difference.
It does.
Because it's just having that opportunity to be able to actually connect with other people that are doing the same job as you when you're effectively working by yourself is so powerful.
Definitely. And that's why
Yeah,
we're doing these in-person events as well.
yeah.
The plan next is going to be one in up Swindon Way for me, one of my little
Hmm.
coffee mornings. But hopefully we'll be having them all over soon. So,
Yeah.
between yourselves as well, if you've got a micro team already, it'd be quite good to know how many of you actually have a micro team, to be fair. Perhaps shout out in the chat if
I mean,
you
I
if you
I
do
could
have
do a
one.
quick survey
Oh
if
yeah,
you'd
do
like.
it. Yeah, guys, let's
Shall we?
let's
Shall
see
we?
let's see how many you've got. How many of
Should we
you?
push the boat out? Come
Yeah.
on. Look, I've got one here ready
Just
because
one more, why
I
not?
just I mean, I can't get enough of them. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So look, do you have a micro team and do you feel confident? Please do go ahead and vote. Let us know. And we've got lots of yeses, which is marvelous.
Amazing.
And the
And
no's
some
are,
no.
oh,
So you're
yeah, but
missing
that's
out on
still,
coffee mornings, guys. You're missing out on some great friendships as well. Some of the best people in the world are carers. Like, I've met
I
so
mean,
many. I don't know about you guys, but I've honestly met some tremendous people, and especially in this
mhm.
role as well. I'm meeting incredible people every day. They come on and they tell me about themselves. And can you please explain what you mean? Okay, so a micro team.
Oh yeah, that's a
It
very good
is
question.
literally where you're connecting with other self-employed carers on the app. That's all it is. So if you go onto the app, I'm just going to go onto my profile now. Just bear with me. So I'm telling you the right steps. So click on to the app menu, and then if you scroll down, it's got a micro team has its own sort of option, and then you can hear it says my team search, and in the search bar you just want to pop in your postcode, and from there, let's do mine SN. There we go. Pop in your postcode, hit search, and then look, I've got one here 2 miles away, and actually she's not in my micro team, so I'm going to add her right now. um, and then your request is sent, and then basically they can just respond to you,
Mhm.
and then immediately you're added to their micro team, which means they'll show on your profile, and you'll show on theirs once they've accepted you. Like I was saying before, it means that your profile is on show just for more clients. Perhaps they're looking at that carer, and then they don't have availability. The next best place is going to be you, because you're on the micro team. And as I say, from a different perspective, it means you can join coffee mornings. You can just get that support network built up around you. If you need someone to fill in a shift, you don't want to let your client down. You're like, no, I don't want to call in sick, but I have to. I don't have a choice, But actually, you do have a choice. You've got a micro team member that could potentially help you out. and at no detriment either. So
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. And Karen, just to answer your question, I totally appreciate where you're coming from. If you haven't got work, why would you want to connect with someone else? It's a very good point, and really, it's about not only by connecting with someone else that will help boost your profile, but also it gives you the opportunity to meet another carer in your area, find out what their situation is in terms of finding work opportunities. What are they doing? Is there anything that they've done? There might be something, for example, with their profile. So it gives you that opportunity to connect and network. So it's not just about work, it's about giving you the opportunity to meet other carers.
yeah.
So,
And also there might not even be a post. You being part of a micro team might mean that, say for example, you're part of mine now. Actually, I've got a long-term client who's got me and two other carers doing live-in full time, between us all, we share it. And then one of them drops out. And then my client needs a carer to fill in for that, as much as there's not a post. And, the first place that client's going to go is to their current carers micro team. So like you're already better in with a chance just being part of that. Do you know what I mean? It just the opportunity's there. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying as well. But I feel the chances of being successful from it are higher than um being worried about kind of the limited jobs or yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let me just remove this survey. That's been really helpful. Thank you so much for everyone who has voted. It's always incredibly useful intel. And we do keep track of everything, all of the survey results. You'll be pleased to know. So the fact that there's been so many this evening will mean I'll have my work cut out tomorrow. But can't get enough data, so that's all good. Marvelous.
We'll join a
So
micro team. That's great, Amethyst. Great. We'll be
yeah,
holding a coffee morning near you soon then. Absolutely. That'll be great.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, watch this space. The event side of things is hot and fresh. It's very new for us, so very excited that this is something that we're going to hopefully be doing considerably more of in the future. Now, what I would be keen to do, I can't believe how quickly time is flying. Ashley Louise, shall we move on to what I think is possibly one of the most exciting topics of the agenda this evening, and that is Curam Meet,
Yes.
our fabulous new feature. But I'm not going to say anything more because I think Ashley Louise, you're far better placed to do it justice. So if you could just explain to everyone, first of all, what Curam Meet is for those who might not know or might not yet have used it, and tell us just how brilliant and why it's so brilliant.
Sure. Okay, so if you haven't used it already or seen it in your app, the Curam Meet feature is something new that we've brought out to enable carers and clients to e-meet before you actually go out and meet them in person. I feel like, can I be sent a link to join a micro team? Going back to that, potentially someone could add you and then you can accept the request, but just pop into your profile picture and go down to micro teams and add it through there. Sorry, yeah. So it allows you to have a FaceTime. It's also got the feature of an audio call, so you can do either. I know lots of people don't like the idea of a video call, but I feel like it's a really good way to kind of just get a feel for who you're meeting. Ultimately, it's all over the app. It's all messaged. So to actually bring that person to life before you meet them, see them, hear them, see their background. You when you knock on the door for the first time then and meet them, you're just a bit more settled, I think. And it's the same for the client. Ultimately, it's a bit daunting for them to have someone show up for the first time. So if you've already kind of, broken through that first barrier, it's really nice. And it just gives you a little bit of an insight as to where you're going and, who you're going to meet.
Mm.
Also, it gives you the opportunity to have the option of just saying no at that point, because you might ultimately have the call and be like, no, thank you. And that sounds silly, but it is a big part of it. And the same for the client. You really need to, in the first 10 to 15 seconds of meeting somebody on a video call, you can really tell if it's going to work or not. So just saves time. Also for carers who are just living, I know a couple of carers, they travel quite a distance to go and have these, intro meets. So before you do that, before you put the effort and the money into traveling somewhere to find out actually it's not going to work out, you can do the video call. It just means, you can have a tour around a house. I've had some carers say, yeah, I had a great tour, met members of the family even, it just really like a good icebreaker. So yeah, I think it's really great for that. So the way that it'll work is once you've had a message and connected with the client for the first time, they will send you a request. This will pop through onto your phone, and then you can just accept that, and then you just arrange a time between you that's most suitable, and you're both available to either do an audio or a video call. This is great as well as a safety feature. Like I say, because you're actually meeting them before you get there, you've just got a bit of an insight on where you're going, who you're meeting, and I definitely think use it if you can use it. A lot of the clients that I've seen, they love it. I've had a couple of requests myself. So just be confident, because ultimately you're going to meet them in the flesh anyway. So why not, start out like this to begin with?
Yeah, absolutely. And also it's, you know, when it gives you that opportunity to actually engage with a client without sharing any personal information. You haven't shared your phone number. You're
Yeah.
effectively virtually meeting them. And so it just, again, it just gives you another layer of safeguarding. Guys, I hope you don't mind. I am just going to drop in a little surprise survey just to see how many of you. I know, fun time.
Oh, it's good
Um,
to see in the chat that the short video is a great start. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
glad you agree, because it honestly is great. It's a really big deal, I think.
Absolutely. So what I would love to just, if people could just let me know if you have used Curam Meets yet, so we can get an idea as to how many of you are already rocking it using the new feature, and those of you who hopefully will be in the near future. Um,
And guys, if you're doing this already and you don't have a profile video, then you could ace a video, 100%, because it's the same thing. You've just got no one on the end
yeah,
of it, so it's actually easier. Um,
yeah, that's such a good point, actually. Yeah, it is effectively, it's you doing your video, but in person. So, it just gives you a feel for how you would be coming across on your video as well. So, yeah, yeah, 100%. I think that's a really good point. Oh, okay. So we have got 4 early adopters who are on the case with Curam Meet. Well done. And then we've got 9 who haven't got there yet, but hopefully it's only a matter of time. So just in terms of the technology, I mean, it's all there in the app, and it's something that, like we say, it just ensures that you have that opportunity to get as much of an understanding about the client that you're potentially going to be working with. You can also ask your questions to them as well, before you actually do any kind of exchange of personal information, or you actually go and meet them in person, as well. So again, it just means that it allows you to go to that potential job opportunity with the full picture of exactly what to expect. So, it is certainly something that, well, I know we're extremely proud from a tech perspective.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
And from a safety
Uh,
perspective, honestly, is really, really important. I wouldn't like to go meet anyone I hadn't seen first, you know, and this is enabling that ultimately. I suppose client Bob B could be anybody, but using this Curam Meet feature is you know who Bob is. You've heard Bob, you've seen him. It's a big deal. So please, guys, just do use that when you're doing it. The same as the safety alert feature. Make sure you've got that set up too. Just use all the features there that we've got, because they're there for you.
yeah, absolutely. And also, just, to build on that point, just with regards to using Curum Meet and having that engagement with the client via the app, by doing everything via the app, it does mean that you, like, even from, I've said that you wouldn't need to exchange a phone number because you're able to do a video call via the app. You can also direct message just via the app. By keeping it there, it just ensures your safety. It just adds that extra layer of security. And also, it is, I mean, the app is an incredible tool. in that respect. So it just adds that paper trail, and you've got it all in one place. So it is something that, you know, again, it's all just about doing what we can to keep everyone as safe as possible. Okay, so we have got a couple of queries. It sounds like some people might be having some issues using Curam Meet. Isaac, is that the question that you're asking?
So it won't necessarily come up. So if you're like going onto a chat, unless the client has requested it from you, then you can't just call out. So for safeguarding for the clients, it's not something that we as carers can just call somebody. They would have to request it. Then we would have to accept it. So that's our safeguarding. We can say yes or no. If once we say yes, obviously everything's safe. There's no contact details exchanged. It is literally just through the app, nice and safe, video or call. So yes,
Yeah,
you will
that's
only be able to do
beautiful.
that. Yeah.
Marvelous. Any more questions? Do chime in. We'd love to hear from you. And whilst people are no doubt adding their questions, Ashley Louise, do you want to just tell us a little bit more about the security feature that you just mentioned? I know some people might be already very much across this, but it's always handy to know.
Yeah, so our safety feature alert, it's the little red icon at the top of your page. Again, I'm just going to go into it. Yeah, so if you click on menu, it's the nice one just here that shows up.
The alarm sounding symbol, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So this is set up to your trusted contacts. Again, you can have whoever you wish, someone that you can trust, a loved one potentially. And if you press this, that they're alerted of your exact location, which means they can come to assist you. This is just really good to have set up. I always say all carers, please have this set up before you meet anybody, especially if it's being the first time. And just anyway, it's just good to have kind of in your pocket. You just know that it's there. I use it as a bit of a safety blanket myself. I've never had to use it, but I like that it's there. I feel supported knowing that it's there. It's just a button on an app, but ultimately I know at the touch of a button, my husband will be contacted and he could be there within minutes if necessary. So yeah, it's very
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. And you can add as many or as little people as you want. And Jess has just added a very
Of course, yes, and it
very
isn't set up
salient
to
point.
emergency services. Yes, so
Yes.
it isn't set up for that. It is just your contacts, whoever you have set those 5 contacts. If you use all 5, maybe you've just got 1 or 2, but it isn't set up to emergency services. So if you're in that position, hopefully not ever, but if you are, please don't hesitate to get yourself safe. Dial 999, use the emergency services as you need to. Yes, absolutely, a really important one, because your husband or whoever can only do so much. So yes, please make sure that you keep yourself safe and do what you need to call them.
Absolutely. The safety feature is it shares your exact location with your trusted contacts. So it's just a really great way to quickly notify them where you are. But certainly if there was anything more serious happening, then 110%.
Yeah.
You get on the phone to
Ultimately, we've got it set up so in our house, I've said if I'm ever out and you get a notification from this, safety feature alert on your phone, I've told my husband to ring the police and give them my exact location. So that's my safety blanket. That's how I use it. I wouldn't just press it if I didn't need to. It would be the case of a major safety alert, and then it would follow on like that. So
yeah, absolutely. Very, very clever technology. And again, just a really good way to just, I know I keep talking about layers of security, but we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to ensure that people are as safe as possible.
absolutely.
Now, I don't know if there are any more questions. Oh, yes, thank you, Jess. Jess has been brilliant this evening. Can we just give a little shout out to Jess? She's absolutely been keeping us on message. Thank you. Jess is making a very good point about how you should definitely speak to your trusted contacts before you set them up on the safety alert feature, because obviously I've done this before where I've accidentally set off the safety alert and my husband received it and he didn't know what it was. Don't do
No.
that. Learn
No,
from
yeah.
our mistakes. Make sure
Definitely
you
tell
can
him. Get it out.
absolutely. I mean, he wasn't worried at all. Yeah, I was in the doghouse. So yeah, make sure people know if you are going to add them as your safety contact. And I think actually, Louise, what you were just saying about what the routine is if somebody gets one of those safety alerts, what you'd like them to do. That's also a really important conversation to have as well.
Definitely. It sounds scary,
Yeah.
but ultimately it's just there, it's there for your safety. So definitely get it set up. Definitely point out, set up your process in case of any emergencies.
Yeah, absolutely. And it might even be something, you might have broken down and you just want to make sure that people, that your trusted contacts know where you are. So
Yeah,
it is a really handy tool in that respect. Okay, I don't know if anyone has any more questions at all. I really hope that all the points that we've covered this evening have been useful. It can feel quite scary when you're at that stage where you are on the Curam app, you're looking for work opportunities. You just want to make sure you're doing everything you possibly can to be as visible to clients that are coming on and looking at carers' profiles. And I just really want to reiterate that we're here for you and we're here to support and help however we can. We have got new clients coming onto the Curam app all the time. I can't remember the exact figures off the top of my head, what the figure is for the number on a weekly basis, but there certainly is a high volume. So we would be confident that you would be in a fantastic place to find work opportunities in your local area. I don't think we've got any more questions. So what I would be keen to do before we do finish up
another
is,
survey.
oh my gosh, oh,
How did
big
I guess?
psychic. I would love to just get a feel for how useful this evening session has been and whether you feel a little bit more confident as a result of hearing about all the different features and things that you can do to enhance your current profile. So I'm basically going to ask the same question that I did earlier on, which was how confident do you feel about enhancing your current profile? Just to see if tonight has perhaps maybe turned or perhaps moved somebody from feeling not very confident to quite confident. So, oh, Karen is, you would like to know how many people were in the meeting this evening? That's a really good question. So the number of people who have joined this evening session, Karen, it does peak and trough because people might not stay for the full session. I can tell you here and now, there's currently 25 carers at the moment. I noticed earlier it was 21, and then earlier before that it was at 28. So it does kind of chop and
Fluctuate.
change. Yeah, exactly.
Perhaps internet connection plays a big part.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that certainly, I know I said this before, but for anyone that for whatever reason hasn't been able to stay on, we will be sharing a recording. For anyone who wasn't able to stay on, for anyone who joined late even, sorry, if you haven't stayed on, then you won't be here. So I'm not quite sure what my thinking was in saying that. I'm absolutely blown away by these results here. We have got 30
That's really good.
people saying very
No,
confident.
not very confident now.
I
That's
mean,
really good.
that's incredible. Marvelous. Oh, I spoke too soon. You've got a not very confident.
Oh
But
no,
even
tell us
so,
what it is and let us answer.
I mean,
Let's help you.
absolutely. Yeah, if you feel happy to share in the comments, please do. Because we will do whatever we can.
Also, I just
On
want
the
to
present.
shout out to Zoe and David. Hi. I've definitely been speaking to you this week, so it's good to see you on the call.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome. We've also got some, so we've got not confident at all and not very confident.
Oh, it was recorded, Isabel. Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
recorded. So we'll send that out in an email. You'll get it.
absolutely. Oh, I don't know if the people who are in the not so confident camp do want to share kind of where they're at with using Curam, we'd be really keen to hear your feedback. But obviously, no pressure. It's completely up to you. Yes, you can absolutely. Thank you, Jess. See, Jess is just the voice of reason. You can also contact us privately. And I'm sure, Jess, if hang on, I'm just scrolling down. Thank you. Oh, you're a mind reader, Jess. I was about to say, and our email address is, wouldn't it be helpful to share it in the comments? And Jess is already ahead of the game.
Perfect.
So
Thanks,
we've got
Jess. Yeah.
Ashley Louise's direct email and also the carer email address. Both of those email addresses will get you to where you need to be. Isabel, that's really good feedback. There's, I'm not sure what location you're in, but there's not much living work by the looks of things in your area. This is, I don't know how much of the webinar you caught this evening, but we were talking all about how you can enhance boost your profile so that it's more visible to clients. And also, if you are keeping your profile up to date, that will mean that you're ranking more highly in searches, you will be prioritized, and that will increase your chances of clients contacting you. So yeah, that's also a really good point, Jess. Who's also, oh, okay, Isabel, you're in Durham and you also have to do Scotland. Sylvia, just to flag, don't worry about the fact that you missed the meeting. You haven't missed anything because this session is recorded. We will be sending the recording round at some point tomorrow or Friday.
Also, Isabel, as well, you can drop that in your personal bio. So when clients are scrolling across your profile and they're giving it a read, they can see that you're happy to travel. I always say to carers, that's a really big one. If you are prepared to travel that little bit further, then please pop it in your personal bio, let them know that you're happy to travel. And also, as Jess has said down there as well, just use the filters to extend the search. So you're viewing jobs that are at a more of a distance. Sometimes it's set at about 5 miles or 10. So yeah, just extend it to what you're happy to, and then just reiterate it in your bio, just to make it nice and clear.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Now, I don't know if anyone has any more questions at all. If so, now is your time. Please do hit us up. We would love to hear from you. I am going to just take the survey results down. We will, as I mentioned previously, we will keep a log of all of these surveys because all feedback is so valuable to us, and it's so helpful. It really makes sure that we get a really clear idea of exactly where people are at and what they are experiencing with using Curam. And bear with me just a second. I am going to be really spontaneous and I'm going to be really spontaneous and run another survey. Just because in reference to Ashley Louise's in-person event, I'm just going to find out how interested you guys are in attending in-person carer events. If we ran a coffee morning in your local area, would you come? That is the question. Hang on a second. Let me just set the survey up. Give me just approximately 1 minute.
Yes, we've got a yes already before it's even come up. You would come. Brilliant. I like it.
Marvellous. That's great to hear. Hang on. Let me just make
awesome.
sure
So feel free to drop me an email in, and then we can look into what area you're in and see if we can set something up, because it'll be great to meet some of you guys in person. Have a little chat and just bring real life to it as well.
Yeah,
I'd love to
lovely.
meet other carers. Yeah, definitely look into the micro teams. Honestly, it's so great. You can really get you connected with other people. We like to think we'll be holding Curam coffee mornings all over before long. So yeah.
I'm very excited on your behalf, Ashley Louise.
I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie.
I've got such FOMO that I can't come tomorrow because I think that's going to be amazing. It's going to be so good.
Oh, I'll have a coffee for you. Don't worry.
Please do.
And a cake
Please
maybe as
do.
well.
Yes.
It depends. It depends on availability, Karen,
Yeah,
or
of course.
what's on offer maybe.
Yeah. We hear you, and life gets in the way. And yeah.
Yeah.
We really do hope that we get to the point that we have a coffee morning in your local area and we have the opportunity to meet you in person.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, Karen,
If I
that's
could
lovely
avoid.
to hear. And Chidima, you say that you drive, but you've never been called for once. I'm, it sounds like you would benefit with having a chat with our recruitment team, just who can have a look at your profile and just see if there's anything they can help you with. Have you seen? I know Jess has shared the carer email address. If you just pop an email to that asking for a chat, then we can, one of the members of the team can get in touch. I hope that's helpful, and I hope that we can get you the support that you need with finding work opportunities. Oh, Chidima, don't share your email address in here. I will copy and paste that, and I will see if I can just remove that just for a GDPR perspective. Oh, I can't actually. Okay, not to worry. Well, look, I'm going to make a note of it. No, don't worry. It's absolutely fine. In the recording, this chat is...
We're not looking. Nobody look. Nobody look.
Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. When we share the recording, don't worry. The chat box doesn't appear because obviously it's got everyone's full names. So it would breach GDPR. So don't worry. That won't be included in the recording anyway. So it's all good. And I am copying and pasting your email address and putting it in Teams to my colleagues so that they've got it ready to get in touch with you at some point tomorrow.
Yeah.
Marvellous. Okay, fab. Right, well, in that case, unless there are any more questions, if so, then please do go for it. And if not, then I would just like to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who's chimed in this evening. It's been a really, really fantastic session. Most of all, though, thank you, Ashley Louise, for coming and sharing your gems of knowledge all about working with Curam. Angus, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope it's been helpful. And also, a special mention to Jess, who has been keeping us on message this evening, which has been very gratefully received. And I know Jess has also been working behind the scenes to make sure that people have got answers to their questions as well. You're so welcome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I really hope this session has been helpful. I know I've said it about 15 times this evening, but a recording will be coming to your inboxes. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. We will be running more webinars, and you know how it works. We'll send an email round notifying you when the next one is coming. And if you think it would be of use, we would absolutely love to see you on there, and also hopefully at some of our in-person events as well. So thanks again, and we hope to see you either virtually or possibly even in person at some point in the very near future. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.